Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which he is being educated. People can cry much easier than they can change. The most dangerous creation of any society is the man who has nothing to lose. It is certain, in any case, that ignorance, allied with power, is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. Neither love nor terror makes one blind, indifference makes one blind. You have to go the way your blood beats. If you don't live the only life you have, you won't live some other life, you won't live any life at all. Those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by others doing it. The whole language of writing for me is finding out what you don't want to know, what you don't want to find out. But something forces you to anyway. I often wonder what I'd do if there weren't any books in the world. The price one pays for pursuing any profession or calling is an intimate knowledge of its ugly side. The betrayal of a belief is not the same thing as ceasing to believe. Most of us, no matter what we say, are walking in the dark, whistling in the dark. Nobody knows what is going to happen to him from one moment to the next, or how one will bear it. Whatever white people do not know about Negroes reveals, precisely and inexorably, what they do not know about themselves. Does the law exist for the purpose of furthering the ambitions of those who have sworn to uphold the law, or is it seriously to be considered as a moral, unifying force, the health and strength of a nation? Writers are extremely important people in a country, whether or not the country knows it. You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read. A society must assume that it is stable, but the artist must know, and he must let us know, that there is nothing stable under heaven. All I've ever wanted to do is tell that I'm not trying to solve anybody's problems, not even my own. I'm just trying to outline what the problems are. Children, not yet aware that it is dangerous to look too deeply at anything, look at everything, look at each other, and draw their own conclusions. It is true that the more one learns, the less one knows. And once you realize that you can do something, it would be difficult to live with yourself if you didn't do it. Perhaps the turning point in one's life is realizing that to be treated like a victim is not necessarily to become one. Love does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle, love is a war, love is a growing up. Everybody's journey is individual. If you fall in love with a boy, you fall in love with a boy. The fact that many Americans consider it a disease says more about them than it does about homosexuality. I love America more than any other country in the world, and, exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. History is not the past. It is the present. We carry our history with us. We are our history. If we pretend otherwise, we are literally criminals. I attest to this. The world is not white, it never was white, cannot be white. White is a metaphor for power, and that is simply a way of describing Chase Manhattan Bank. For, while the tale of how we suffer, and how we are delighted, and how we may triumph is never new, it always must be heard. There isn't any other tale to tell, it's the only light we've got in all this darkness.